Hey everyone, welcome back. This week we're going to be talking about the subconscious mind, and last week, little recap, we were talking about the conscious mind. And what is the conscious mind? It's any action that you do that you have to think about the skill you're doing. And now, this week we're going to talk about the subconscious mind. What is the subconscious mind? It is exactly the opposite of that. It is an action that we do that we don't have to think about it, such as brushing your teeth. When you're brushing your teeth, you're not thinking about going up and down, side to side, or where on your mouth you're brushing your teeth. You're going to know automatically where you're doing it, how to do it, and it's natural. Another example of you using your subconscious mind is when you're driving to school. When you're driving to school, you don't think about, oh, I gotta go down this road, I gotta turn left, I gotta turn right. You automatically know where you're going, how fast to go, and how to get to your destination. So that is how we use our subconscious mind compared to our conscious mind. So when you're at practice, you're consciously thinking about your objective. But when you're playing in a game, you are subconsciously thinking. And you have to be subconsciously thinking in order to perform at the highest level. And they go hand in hand. They are both extremely important. When you're consciously doing something and practice, it helps you perform at your highest level, and you perform subconsciously. And both of them together helps you perform at the highest level and helps you compete at the highest level. Now, Steve Nash and Larry Bird, they are some of the best players in the NBA. And why is this? And why was this? Because when they practiced extremely hard and they consciously thought about what they were doing, and they just took it to the game and subconsciously knew what they had to do. They didn't have to think about what they had to do. They just knew that they practiced for so long. They knew how to stroke the ball. They knew how to shoot it. They knew how to pass it. And they knew what to do. And that's why they were such great basketball players. Now, if you remember one of my previous videos, we talked about how when you write a signature, you do it subconsciously. Now, let's pretend we wrote our signature, but we did it consciously. And our muscles tense up when we do things consciously. We're trying to make it perfect, and we're not gonna do it quite right, as compared to when you do it subconsciously. Now, same goes for sports. Now, the reason we tense up in sports is because we are focusing on the action compared to the target. Now, when you're shooting a basketball, are you focused on the technique of how to shoot a basketball? No. You're focused on a specific target. You're focused on the rim, on the angle that you want the ball to travel. You're not really focused on how you want your elbow to be pointing directly at the target, how you want your wrist to release. You're not focused on specific technique. You're focused on your target. Same for football. You're not focused on how you're throwing it. You're focused on where you want to put the ball in your teammates' hands. When you're playing soccer, you want to put it in a specific part of the net. Okay? And when you're hitting a baseball, you're not focused on where your elbow is on the back. You're focused on where the ball's coming through and where you want to make contact. And focusing on your target compared to focusing on the actual activity is the difference between using your subconscious mind compared to your conscious mind. Now, you always hear of players getting in a specific zone. Now, what is the zone? The zone is not an area where you're thinking about your activity. It's a subconscious act. When you see people go off in a game, let's say they have 25 points, 5 assists, and 6 or 7 steals, and they just play awesome. And you ask them, what were you thinking after the game? And usually the response is, I wasn't thinking. They just act, and that is how you perform at the best level. You don't want to be thinking. You just want to do it. And you want to play, and you have fun when you're doing it, and you just hit your zone, and that's how great athletes perform at their best. They don't think, they just do it. And it's the best feeling in the world just to go into a game and to get into that specific zone. Now, when you go to sleep, or when you try to go to sleep and you're thinking about going to sleep, it's not going to happen. And that's why people, they count sheep and they just try and they watch TV and they try to do something aside from sleeping, because sleeping is a subconscious act. Now, same with our skills. If we were to think about doing our skills, we're not going to do them. compared to if we don't think about our skills. If we use our subconscious mind, we're going to be able to do them easily and we're going to have fun with what we're doing. How do we get to that subconscious part of our minds? That's what we're going to talk about next week. How to reach the specific parts of our subconscious mind in order to perform at our highest level. Hope to see you next week.